Hello, everyone. This is Gary Maloney here for Sactown Slam. And for those that are watchers of my program, I know I've been gone for a while since Survivor Series, and there are those that we love that unfortunately you have to be there for. And sometimes when you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders, you hold that weight on your shoulders and you plant your feet. But sometimes things get lost in the shuffle, such as my show. But guess what? Much like Paige, I'm back. So, I'd like to welcome my friend Ivan and my friend and new friend to the show, Denny. So, I have a list of questions to ask both Danny and Ivan, and I will be giving my own perspective on this myself. 10 questions right here to hopefully make maybe hour and a half of fun. Woo! Now, woo! Mwah! Yeah!
Wonderful!
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, we all just got done watching Monday Night Raw, which we will get to our favorite part in a moment. But, as I said, 10 questions, which I will be asking in order. My first question to my fans and to the two of you is, can the Cruiserweight division be saved? I pose this one first of all to Ivan.
Yes, it shall be saved. It shall be saved. We shall be saved by Enzo Amore. How you doing? Although, you know, this whole the fact that Nia Jax has an obsession right now, but, you know, how you doing? Like, he's gonna get crushed by how you doing. But, you know, he's the only reason, you know, why a lot of people, him and, you know, Rich Swann, but, you know, we're not talking about that guy right now because of certain reasons, and then Cedric Alexander and Grand Metalik and certain other people are the reasons why, you know, it's going to be good. Eventually, I'm hoping it's going to get to a point where we're going to have, like, a 5-pack, maybe a 6-pack challenge for the title, you know, eventually. But they have to build it up. So, that's my opinion.
All right, and as for me, I think it is possible for it to be saved. What they're doing right now, I think, is kind of smart, because when it started, we have a lot of these wrestlers who we don't really know about, so we don't really know how we feel about. And then we started drafting people over like Enzo Amore, Kalisto. These are wrestlers we all know and love, and it's something we can start enjoying in the Cruiserweight division. And I think making Enzo Amore Cruiserweight champion was probably one of the smartest ideas, despite the reasons why they put him onto a 5 Live. But yeah, that's pretty much my answer. Yes, it can be saved for those reasons.
Okay. I believe it can be saved. I've heard that they've been in talks with Neville. Whether or not that's going to come to fruition of anything, I do not know. One thing I've really been thinking of, I mean, they have been just burying Johnny Gargano, and I feel like stick him in you know, the Cruiserweight division, because he was in the Cruiserweight Classic. Stick Tommaso Ciampa in the Cruiserweight division, because he was in the Cruiserweight Championship, or Cruiserweight Classic, excuse me. And, you know, Andrade, everybody kind of knows that it was, you know, a mulligan per se when he got the NXT title, because, you know, obviously if a guy gets injured, you can't have him win the NXT title. So, and the plan supposedly was for him to go into the Cruiserweight division. You put those three guys in the Cruiserweight division, that's a hell of a Cruiserweight division. So a lot.
Not to interrupt, but to bring another good wrestler talking about the division, Hideo Itami is supposedly. I haven't been watching 205 for the last few weeks, but Hideo Itami is also as well supposed to shake up the 205 division, and that's a great wrestler. In my opinion, his in-ring work is great, but you can't have him fighting guys like Cassius Ohno and big guys like Lars Sullivan, because then he's gonna get eaten alive. Just saying.
I agree. I think that Hideo Itami is also another great addition to that division. So, quite frankly, I mean, this division is about to see a major shakeup before we get to WrestleMania. So, I think that this division will be great again, by the time WrestleMania comes around.
I might have a comment for this division. Another thing that could probably make a good push for the Cruiserweight division if they actually make a Cruiserweight Tag Team Champion thing. So that way they can have more titles for their division, and it can actually be like a good shaker, and we can actually see some cool action, like some cool Cruiserweight Tag Team duo moves that we rarely get to see in a regular one-on-one match.
I honestly believe you don't have to make, separate titles for the cruiserweights. I think if you just uncuffed them and allowed them to, fight in other divisions if they're good enough. I mean, you have plenty of people like The Miz in the Intercontinental Division who, quite frankly, they're obviously not over 205 pounds. So, yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of things they could do to make this division more exciting. And they have guys that have held more than one belt, so who's to say the cruiserweights can't?
Yeah, that's a good point. I could see that.
I mean, even if you were to do a tag team, in my opinion, I don't know if they have enough. I don't think they have enough cruiserweights to do a tag team, because even what they have, they don't show on regular TV. And if you only way you get to watch the 205, unfortunately, is on the network. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, true. But like with stuff like this, you could probably see like certain alliances, like two people you see in normal single competitor, and they could team up together. And like that, you could probably see something spark, like he did with the Bar. Like these are two different guys with two different backgrounds, and when you team them up, they became like one of the top tag team competitors on Raw.
True.
Damn, this thing's heavy.
Here, I got you. There you go, buddy.
Anyway, so my second question is, how do you feel about all the Ring of Honor stars that are now coming to WWE? I'll start off this one. I like it. I mean, these guys are coming to WWE. They've already got experience. You look at guys like Kevin Owens, a.k.a. Kevin Steen, and obviously, you have his buddy, who was El Generico, and you have guys like the Undisputed Era, Cassius Ohno, Seth Rollins, going all the way back to Seth Rollins. And it's amazing to see. I mean, Roderick Strong's another one. AJ Styles, Samoa Joe. I mean, granted, that's not where they spent the majority of their tenure, but they were part of ROH. I mean, even Austin. Even Austin Aries was a part of ROH.
Even Hulk and Matt was, yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people, even with shorter tenures, have been coming to WWE that were in ROH. So, I mean, I think it's a good thing. It's given guys a chance to really hone their craft before either coming back to or going to WWE. I mean, a lot of these people are, going to NXT and then moving up. versus, going, straight to main roster like AJ Styles did. But still, it's a great thing to see. I don't necessarily have a problem with it. How about you, Danny?
Personally, I personally do like this idea, like all these talents that we're seeing from independent brackets such as ROH, and then we're seeing them at the big leagues, and they're becoming great superstars. Like I said, like he mentioned Seth Rollins, like what was his name back in ROH? Like he ran by a different name. I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
It was completely different. It was like nothing compared to the name Seth Rollins.
You've got the phone.
Shut up. I'm not Googling it. But yeah, anyways, yeah, Seth Rollins. He was in ROH. He had a big rep. Then he went into NXT and built up, and now he's like one of the biggest wrestling stars in WWE in this era. And then we got like the Undisputed Era, like Adam Cole and the others, and like they're making big names and stuff in the NXT. And then when they hit WWE, they're probably gonna make big names of themselves, either individually or still as the Undisputed Era. So yeah, and not to mention, when they're in ROH, they already got a good reputation, and people are figuring them out. So like the fans who watch both WWE and the indies, when you see them coming to WWE, you're gonna be blown away. Like, oh my god, this guy was like something like ROH, and now he's here. I get to see him on WWE now with the WWE stars. So yeah, like I really am loving this whole ROH stars coming to WWE. It's really exciting, and it's making fresh and exciting things for the company. It's very smart on their part. Oh, he's
One of you guys said that, Google it, so I'm trying to.
Okay, well,
Tyler Black apparently is what it looks like.
See,
Tyler Black to Seth Rollins.
Totally different names.
So I mean,
totally different.
I like it. I like this whole ROH thing only because some of them they have already good reps because of that. But if you look at certain guys, even with their certain reps, they're still having to earn their rep in WWE. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, they're earning it right now.
Yeah, they're earning it.
So
like everyone else.
I mean, Eric Young, AOP. So they're.
All of those guys were in ROH.
I think AOP. If I'm not mistaken, I thought they were. They may have been. I'm not sure.
Hopefully, eventually we get the Young Bucks.
So they made a name for themselves, and they're building their tenor. The only thing I don't like is when you take a guy, and unfortunately I'm going to say his name, Adam Cole, and just try to throw his name in there to wrestle a guy like Aleister Black, because Aleister Black has been in NXT for a while, and he's now have to fight Aleister Black to potentially get the NXT Championship match. I think Adam Cole needs... Adam Cole, in my opinion, needs to...
Hold my beer.
Adam Cole needs to, earn more of a... before he gets the title shot. No offense to Adam Cole. I mean, even the Velveteen Dream has been there longer than Adam Cole. And the fact that the Velveteen, the only reason why he didn't get his shot against Cassius Ohno because he got hurt during War Games. If he didn't get hurt during War Games, it would have been Cassius Ohno versus the Velveteen Dream instead of two losers like Johnny Gargano and Cassius Ohno, who right now are on a major losing streak. And now you keep just handing them stuff like United Kingdom Championship matches and all that other stuff. I don't think you have to build up the whole where you get the title shot.
Now, see, I would agree with you with that part with Johnny Gargano and Jason Ono, but like with Adam Cole, like I think you're probably jumping a little ahead because we still don't know what the outcome of that match will be. Like, Aleister can still win. They can still give it to the win to him. We don't know yet. But like, yeah, if Adam Cole does win, then that will probably make your point more believable.
Yeah, but they have a bad habit.
They do.
Bad habit of major name superstars from other companies getting a real quick push. And Adam Cole, who was part of the Bullet Club, was then is getting this big push. So I'm just saying.
It is, but like still like if like I said, if he wins, this is part of that big push you're talking about. But like I said, like you're looking far. I think you're looking far in the future, and because Alistair could probably still
Well,
make
if Alistair Black wins, that proves me wrong, and I'm glad.
It's not too far in the future. It's the day after tomorrow, but yeah.
Oh wow, you're right.
It's Wednesday, so
yeah.
NXT's match.
Sorry,
so,
I hate to burst your bubble, man. That just is.
But still, that's like the future, though.
Technically.
Okay, can I get a DeLorean, please? No.
You're welcome.
Okay, so the next question. Does Jinder Mahal suck, and will he regain the WWE title? I am going to make this very clear for you. Do you see the gloves I have on? They're AJ Styles gloves. No, he is not getting the WWE title back. And do you want to know why? On Halloween night, and I realize this is Halloween, SmackDown did a 2.1 rating during his title reign. Boo, you suck. Okay? If you were even worthy of being champion, that would have been nowhere near that rating. And honestly, the other problem I have is why do you need Tweedledee and Tweedledum to fucking interfere in every single match you are in? Okay? I'm done with haters and cheaters, okay? These people need to die in a hole where they do not belong, okay?
That's a little hostile.
Yes, very hostile. I don't...
Getting kind of violent there.
but I'm sorry, but you want to be a heel, be worthy of being a heel. It's like at least Triple H had the balls to do the work himself. Okay?
Sometimes. That's debatable.
Yeah.
Ric Flair, Randy Orton,
Evolution, DX.
X-Pac.
Okay.
Billy Gunn.
My point... okay. My point that I am trying to make is you can still be a heel without sitting there and needing 5 people to cheat for you. Okay? It's dumb. It's stupid. It's being way overused in this era and time, which I think all of us can agree with, that staples are becoming the thing to do, you know? And I just feel like if you want to be a heel, prove to me that you can piss people off without needing help from other people. Fine. If you want to be a douche monkey, then be a douche and, you know, piss people off and get a rise out of the crowd like, say, Elias, per se. And
We're not talking about this
don't sit there and need 5 people to cheat for you, because it's annoying and I hate it. And quite frankly, no, I don't think he's going to win the title back. And do you know why? Because throughout his entire title reign, he was supposed to be the title holder until WrestleMania, until they pulled his title from him, you know, right before the last SmackDown pay-per-view. So, no. Next, Danny, you take the mic.
Couple haters over here.
Alright, now does Jinder Mahal suck?
2-part question, remember.
Yeah, I know, like, yeah, he kind of does suck, but, like, here's the thing, though. We are looking at a wrestler who was, for the most part of his career, a jobber. And now, like, all of a sudden, when he gets drafted to SmackDown, they automatically pushed him into the WWE title. Like, that's a risky thing to do, but, like, and unfortunately, it didn't fully pass out. Now, in my opinion, if they took time to build this type of character, this modern-day Maharaja character for him, build it up a little longer, then put the title on him when you got a good enough bad heel character for him to work with, he probably would have probably been a good heel champion. But I think it was just a too quick decision, and everyone saw that was too quick, and that's probably why they don't really like it. Yeah, he is. I don't really mind him, but I just think it was just a too quick decision for us to have someone, Jinder Mahal, a jobber, to be the WWE champion that fast and that way. And yeah, we got as he would put it, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and most bad guy champions, they have their little team up. That's how they usually like to win, because it shows how they cheat. Like when JBL was the champion, he had the cabinet.
That's true. Very true.
But we do also have other good heels who can hold their own. And I'm going to make a good example of
Randy Orton. Sorry.
Not just Randy, well, not always Randy Orton, because he had the Authority with him at one point. But also, like I said, a good one, a really good one heel for a title run will be Chris Jericho, especially during his Undisputed Championship era run. He pretty much held most of that on his own until he started to side with Stephanie for a good while, but that was also the end of his reign because of that. But other than that, he held his own on his like that as a champion, and it was pretty impressive. And I'm pretty sure there's so many other good examples as a heel champion who can do it on his own, but we are pretty much so used to seeing heel champions who have backup.
Ivy?
Here we go.
Okay. I'm going to quote one of my favorite wrestlers. Well, we got over here a couple of haters. Because, first of all, in India, in America, wherever they have been recently, both Singh brothers keep repeating your future two-time champion right now, and they keep quoting it. It's not by mistake. It's gonna happen. He's gonna win the title again. Everybody doesn't like him, and if people didn't think he was a bad guy, they wouldn't be booed so much. He's not getting Roman Reigns booed because, they legitimately hate and they want to murder and they want to run him down with a fucking truck, Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns is boo. He's booty, straight booty, and that's what that is. But people boo because he is a dick, because he likes to stick it to the man. The other thing I have here is the fact that if the Authority is back, anybody, they're going to win the championship. Guess who gave him a handshake in India and said he's one of the best heel wrestlers he's seen in a while? Triple H, Authority. Therefore, it's going to end up happening. Do I think he sucks? Sometimes, yeah. Because he doesn't need, in my opinion, he shouldn't need thing one, thing two. He doesn't need dumbasses to help him be a bad guy. He could be bad guy by himself. And I'm sick of the Singh brothers. I am personally sick of them. Get rid of them. Put them on the cruiserweight division. Punish them. Since you want to do that to Enzo, do it to them too. Get him out of here. Get him. Go on. Get. Bye-bye. Bye, Felicia. That's just my opinion. But that's my opinion on the whole subject, man. He's going to win the title. People are going to hate it. He's going to get booed. And that's the reason why he's going to get the title. Because people are boo, boo, and he gets booed by everybody. Why do you think John Cena does what he does? Regardless of people like him or hate him. John Cena sucks majority of the crowd. He gets the title. Same with Roman Reigns. So I'm just saying.
Oh.
They gave him a push kind of quick. I agree with him on that regard. He should have been pushed more of a bad guy with minus thing 1 and 2. He could have done perfectly by himself. The other person he didn't need randomly show up is the Great Khali. Because all his stupid, tall-ass, dumb motherfucking looking ass did was choke out Randy Orton while he's holding him up and he escaped. Okay, that's bullshit. Okay, that is straight bullshit.
And there's that.
Okay, Khali didn't even come back. And then, Khali's like, oh, look at the title.
When he thought he was the champion.
No, yeah, he needs to go sit down in India and be a police officer again or do something with himself. I'm sick of tall bastards like that who can't wrestle. He reminds me of Giant Gonzalez. Klutzy as fuck. That's my opinion on that whole question and subject. Here you go.
Well, it appears that we need a more positive question. So, how do you feel about the awoken Matt Hardy gimmick in the WWE? Yeah!
Who wants to start off with this? Huh?
Obviously,
Danny.
Obviously, we ain't agreeing on something here. We ain't got no haters with this one.
All right. Now, as what he said, all three of us agreed that the woken Matt Hardy, this is something we've been wanting to see for a while.
Quite a while.
And when we saw Matt and Jeff in the WWE just as themselves, we were a little bummed about it, but they were still trying to hint their broken personas, which we were kind of cool, but that's not enough. We want to see broken Matt and brother Nero. So when we got a woken version, which is pretty much broken either way,
as his tweet said,
I
have been woken, but
we
still broken.
Went insane of joy. Like, this was amazing. Like, he's got his coat back on. He's got the personality again. And, like, even tonight's promo for Monday Night Raw, when he's doing his back-to-back with Bray Wyatt, we were just losing our shit. It was insane. Like, he's got, like, this different type of laugh where, like,
and then he went.
Yeah. He's got. We're calling the cow laugh, where he's like.
Right here.
Well, you
In
see,
Sacramento, California.
he still does his other laughs and whatnot, his little quirks, and it's all beautiful. And, like, I'm really excited to finally see this feud with him and Bray Wyatt, because, like, that's also another smart thing they did, because we've been wanting to see Broken Matt versus Bray Wyatt for a long time, and now they got Woken Matt.
Which is awesome.
Which, yeah, it's just awesome. It's a nice little trickery name for him, for the copyrights. And, like, yeah, they brought him perfect time to start a feud with Bray Wyatt, and now we're getting what we want to see. And it's just going to be wonderful. Yes. So, yeah, I'm loving every minute of this, and I'm looking forward to see what they're going to do with Woken Matt.
Go ahead.
Okay. Give me the son of a... Oh. All right, so my thing is, it's amusing. It's amusing. I love it. We've always wanted it. We've seen it in ROH. We've seen it in Impact Wrestling, a.k.a. fuck that out. My thing was, even when he was in Impact, he was like the Day of New and the Bray of Wyatt's family and Impact. You know,
The man with three H's.
The man with the three H's. Meek Mahan. Yes, it was great. It was great. And then we finally get it, and he's like, I've been broken. I'm still broken, and I've finally been woken in these Vessel, Alexandria, Pyramids of Giza, and battled with Genghis Khan. Yes, and it's amazing. I love it. And all those people who are like, this gimmick is stupid. Obviously, your dumbass doesn't watch anything other than WWE. And maybe you should watch other stuff than WWE. Educate yourself before I smack you. I'm just saying. Y'all pissing me off. That's all I got to say about that.
It's what he does.
Okay, well, I definitely have to say that this whole thing is wonderful. Yes. I too have seen this in Impact, wrestling, Global Force, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Don't know anymore.
Yeah, we don't know anymore what that company's called, but quite frankly, next week they'll have a new name. But when the Hardys showed up at WrestleMania as just the Hardy brothers, I mean, it was sort of a letdown when, they showed up and we heard that WWE paid all this money for them and this and that. And then they had to go to legal battles for the rights. And then, they had to sit there and just, they do a lot to get what they had. But finally, we are seeing one of the feuds we wanted to see out of Broken Matt or Awoken Matt, depending on what you want to call it, and of course Bray Wyatt, which poor Bray, because he's gonna get his ass whipped. Because everyone wants to see the Awoken One who has sat there and been at the top of the pyramids of Giza, who has studied in the library of Alexandria and fought with Genghis Khan. Yes. But seriously, this is definitely one of the better things WWE has done with their year, because 2017 has just sucked rocks for WWE. Hashtag fuck the Roman Reigns initiative. But
Hashtag fuck the revival.
But seriously, I am so done with Roman Reigns, and I hope that by WrestleMania this dude has the Intercontinental title, because he deserves it. So that's how I feel about that, or how we feel anyway. Next question: which is the better show, Raw or SmackDown? I will give this one first to Ivy.
So my thing is, you have majority, if not all, of the bigger guys on Raw. The only thing, in my opinion, going good for them is the only way you're gonna get to like Roman Reigns on Raw is the fact that they put the Shield together. Congratulations, Raw. Congratulations, because Roman Reigns was getting booed out of every fucking stadium. More than John Cena. And I know a lot of people hate John Cena, but it's bad when Roman Reigns is getting booed 10 times worse, if not 100 times worse. It's rough. The only thing good going for Raw, in my opinion, is Broken Hardy. The only thing. Some of the women, Asuka's good, but this whole them fighting against Absolution. Okay, what are they trying to be, a female Shield? Okay, sure. There's 8 or 9 other women versus 3. You're gonna get jumped,
like
and
tonight.
The cat, and the
like
crap kicked
tonight.
out of you like tonight. Like that's what happened. The other thing is SmackDown has a lot more people go. In my opinion, the better names. AJ Styles, for the lack of me even being an AJ Styles fan, he's good. He's talented. Bobby Roode. Shinsuke Nakamura, Randy Orton. You have all these good lighter guys. They're like not super big. So in my opinion, SmackDown's better than Raw. What they need to do is put Finn Balor on SmackDown Live, because right now Finn's getting buried. Fighting Curtis Axel, that's a fucking joke. Are you kidding me? Seriously. What are you going to do next? Make him fight Bo Dallas? Oh, what are you going to do? Hire James Ellsworth and fight him? Get the fuck out of here, man. Send him to SmackDown Live and every other good, talented motherfucker on SmackDown Live and keep all the big guys on Raw and let them fight. That's my opinion on the subject.
Pass it to Danny.
All right, so this one was actually a real tough question for me, because when they first started the brand split, brought it back, I should say, I was always like SmackDown all the way, because like they were doing great things. The story was pretty good, and they just had amazing talent on their roster, despite Raw having more of a bigger roster than SmackDown have. And then with this year, with the new year, I was having little mixed feelings. Like, I was starting to like a little bit of both because like with Raw we have me. I actually do like I'm cool with any other size of a guy. Like they're wrestlers, they got their own character and their size. Like me, I love Braun Strowman, but I also like AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura, and then I like Brock Lesnar. And like so, like I got all these wrestlers I really like and enjoy, but like, what do I like more? It's really tough. Well, only my closest thing I could probably say is when Survivor Series hit. Ever since the hashtag Under Siege, I was just pretty much rooting for Raw. Like, cause like it was just like I personally didn't like the whole Under Siege thing. I mean, it was all right, but it just, I don't know. To me, it felt like a really dark move for SmackDown to do. It sounded like something Raw would have done, but when SmackDown did it, and it just made them look more of an asshole than just regular, than what the regular cool wrestlers type of deal. And then I just pretty much been rooting for Raw this whole time.
Well, if you don't mind me interrupting you real quick.
Go for it.
So the reason why I had the whole big guy, smaller guy thing is you can't have Finn Balor fight a guy like Braun Strowman and expect him to win. Realistically, that's not possible because Finn will get picked up by his tiny little head by big old Braun Strowman and thrown. And that's not fair to Finn Balor at all. I don't want to see Finn get buried. And I'm tired of seeing these smaller guys who have so much potential get buried by bigger guys like Braun Strowman. That's the only reason why I said that.
Well, yeah, and I totally understand that, but like we do have Finn. Like, yeah, he is fighting a bunch of jobbers right now. He's not getting the really push he really deserve. Like the only push I really thought he could have gotten is if he beat The Miz for the IC title. That would have probably been the smart move on Raw at that point, but they didn't do that, and now
we're stuck with Boom and Reigns.
Yeah, Boom and Reigns.
So,
and then yeah, so like, I'll have to say at this point, despite size difference and whatnot, I'm probably still sticking with Team Raw, despite my love for the talent on SmackDown.
Well, if you ask me, first of all, I'm going to hit on your Under Siege point. I thought it made things more interesting for Survivor Series. And the reason why I feel that way is because it was such an unexpected move. It made things more interesting. Yes, it screwed up the tag team titles on Raw, but it did make things way more interesting going into Survivor Series. The build there meant something, because last year's Survivor Series build sucked like bad. So I have to give that one just to WWE because, so much of my problem with WWE as a whole is that they don't build towards their pay-per-views or their storylines or anything like that. It sucks. Now, as far as who's better, Raw or SmackDown, Raw has such a depth of talent but doesn't know how to use it. You look at people like Bayley, who was supposedly touted to be the female John Cena, but has now been buried to the point of, what's your point? And you look at people like Finn Balor, same difference, who has been buried to the point of fighting a douche monkey like Curtis Axel tonight. And last week he fought Bo Dallas, by the way. I mean, it's to the point where he should have won the Intercontinental title and should have been taking on douche monkeys like Jason Jordan and Samoa Joe and, okay, fine, Roman Reigns. But you know what? He beat Roman Reigns during that Universal title tournament. So they should have had him beat Roman Reigns and should have kept it to the quote-unquote corporate initiative of Roman Reigns beating Braun Strowman for the Universal title, because we all know that's what's going to happen at WrestleMania anyway. We're not stupid. So the fact of the matter is that when you look at Raw versus SmackDown, there are two things that really stick out to me. Number one, as far as the women's division, that's definitely Raw. I think Raw, most definitely. I mean, you have Asuka, you have a returning Paige, you have a lot of good mid-card players in that division. SmackDown, when Lana's in your division, you know. So I have to be honest, no, you know. I mean, I like Naomi. I like people like Natalia. I like Charlotte. But unfortunately, you know, even Ruby Riott, she needs some spit shine before she's a big thing. So I think that push was very, very, very fast. And, you know, all those women that came in there with her were overly pushed. As far as everyone else, I like AJ Styles, and he should be champ. Baron Corbin, and, you know, I know some people do not like him, but he is a decent wrestler. He should have kept Money in the Bank, but because of actions that he took on his own and pissing off John Cena, which you don't want to do, especially since he can pretty much demote you at moment's notice, which he did, lost him the Money in the Bank. But he is a decent wrestler. I like Bobby Roode there. That is a great place to cultivate Bobby Roode without him getting shit all over by these giant ogres. I like the fact that SmackDown is doing... I don't like the fact that SmackDown is treating Shinsuke Nakamura like a mid-carder. That bothers me. But him being tag teamed with Orton leaves the door open for a lot of different things. But Paul Heyman said this in an interview one time. If Nakamura goes out there and has a Nakamura match, he's going to get noticed. And he did that with John Cena. And John Cena held up his hand after the match they had, but Creative apparently bitched him out because he, quote-unquote, attacked Cena's neck. So, and, you can't drop Cena on his neck like that, despite Cena holding up his hand. Give me a break. Nakamura is the future. Stop holding back Japanese wrestlers on your friggin' brand. You know, that's why these guys are so popular in New Japan, and yet they never get pushed in WWE because WWE has some sort of agenda against Japanese wrestlers. You know, how long is it going to take? I mean, I'm so glad Emma's not in the WWE picture because they'd have probably had Asuka lose to Emma. You know, it is a ridiculous standard unto which they have. But as far as who is better, I think that SmackDown is a lot more steady of a show, minus the gender factor. But despite that, you know, you have Ty Dillinger kind of floating around. I don't like that. But I feel like he still has gotten pushes here and there, and I don't think we've seen the last of Ty. I mean, I guarantee he comes in at number 10 during the Rumble. You know, if he doesn't, I'd be disappointed.
Last year.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like, you know, these people are being cultivated better on SmackDown than they are on Raw, because everybody gets 20 minutes to jabber on Raw while all this great talent just sits in the back and does nothing, or is a part of a dark match which no one sees. So SmackDown is pretty much all wrestling. Not to mention, you have the Usos on SmackDown, who are the biggest, baddest, best tag team. Like, the SmackDown tag team division is so much better than Raw's, because Raw's, everyone's either injured or it's like, what tag team division? You've had the Bar versus the Shield for how many months now? You know, at least we get to see people like the Fashion Police and the Ascension and the New Day and the Bludgeon Brothers. I mean, we see a lot of tag teams on SmackDown. How many tag teams do we see on Raw? Yeah, exactly. So, quite frankly, we need to, Raw has some better one-on-ones, but I think overall your better value deal is on SmackDown.
Okay. Can I say something about the Survivor Series real quick?
Go ahead.
About just real quick on the whole Under Siege thing. Now, this is how you know.
What have I done?
This is how you know that WWE did a great thing. They had SmackDown, which you said looked like douche monkeys, invade Raw. Nobody was expecting that. And that kept everybody on their heels and on the edge of their chairs every Monday freaking morning or every Monday afternoon ready to see Raw invade Tuesday. And you're like, are you going to do it now? Are you going to do it now? Are you going to? And then it's the final Raw or final SmackDown before Survivor Series, and Raw finally gets their payback. And SmackDown thinks they could just send little Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder to try to stop Braun Strowman. Get kicked in your face, you stupid idiots. But it was great. It kept everybody on like, And what really threw me off is when they were in Manchester, and both Raw and SmackDown were in Manchester. I assumed this is when Raw's gonna get payback. And then they did it, and I'm like, oh, and then because the New Day interrupted, and then Stephanie was like, okay, you had to, nobody came out there and you screwed up. But other than that, I love that little sidetrack, sorry, but I loved that whole build up to Survivor Series. It was fantastic. It's one of the best things this year.
Okay, so next question. Which star in NXT sticks out the most to you? Now, I'm going to extend this question a little bit. One male, one female. So, Ivan, why don't you take the mic first?
Well, no. See, you added a whole one male and one female. I was ready just to give a male answer. But the male, and he reminds me of so much of a certain wrestler. I'm going to give the male to Gene Snitsky. Wow. Because that's who he reminds me of, Lars Sullivan. Lars Sullivan reminds me of so much of Gene Snitsky, but when he talks, it sounds like Jack Swagger's talking, so it's amusing, but he, once they give him the right push, is going to start murdering everybody individually. If it's a single thing he gets put in, eventually, he has a future NXT Heavyweight Championship in his future. If he doesn't, then you're screwing up somewhere along the line NXT, and you shouldn't screw over a guy like Lars Sullivan because he deserves it. He's great. He manhandled the crap out of Cassius Ohno, and I wasn't expecting that. I mean, yeah, sure, fighting him, but the way he manhandled No Way Jose, the way he manhandled Cassius Ohno, fantastic. Fantastic in-ring work. It's great. And he could talk, kind of. It's great because he could actually legitimately talk. He's a bad guy. He's one of those rare bad guys. He could be like, look, I'm a big guy. I'm going to kick your ass, and that's it. And that's seriously it. And, like, he will grab you, throw you around, 1, 2, 3, and that's it. And it's like, okay, right on. Female-wise, that's a little hard on me because, I love Ember Moon. But Kyrie, whatever her name is saying, the little elbow drop.
Pirate Princess. It's great. She's good. She's possibly the next Asuka. Who knows? The way they could make her, she could very well be undefeated. I don't know. But I'm glad they finally put the title on Ember Moon. The other chick, see, like I said, this is hard. Nikki Cross. Mm-hmm. It's fantastic. Nikki Cross, Kairi Sane, Ember Moon. No, if I had to pick a top 3, those are my 3. Period. You can't freaking beat that. I mean, you could have given Nikki Cross the title. You could have given Kyrie the title. And you could have easily this whole Peyton Royce, okay, Billy Kay, you guys shouldn't flatter yourselves. Okay, you are more annoying like Emma than anything. And you should just go away. And that's all I have to say about that.
Give it to Danny.
Okay. I'm actually going to start off with the women's division of NXT, and I'm pretty much going to be agreeing with Ivy here. Yeah, top 3: Ember, Nikki Cross, and Kairi Sane. And like, it's hard to pick. I do want to say it is actually smart for them to give the women's title to Ember Moon, because she fucking was long deserving for her. And like, even though any of those, the other 2 women would have been perfect for the title, but I will believe like the strong point would have been Ember Moon, and she's probably a little bit higher than the other 2, because I just see so many talent. Like, for her finisher, for starters, like, that's a finisher you don't really see. I mean, a stone cold stunner from the top rope corner, like, that blew my mind when I saw that. Like, 'cause you don't see a move like that often. Like, it's amazing. She's got like so much talent, and like, I'm glad she's the women's champion. And like, yeah, Nikki Cross, she's amazing. She's with one of the cool factions of NXT right now, and like, they can probably give her the title. And Kairi Sane, she won the competition for Mae Young Classics, and she could be the champion because she's got all that talent. But like, as much as I think she could have gotten that champion, I think that would have been a 80 bit too soon, despite how much talent she does have, because I do believe Ember Moon, Nikki Cross should be more front of the line than her, because I think she needs a little bit more build-up. I mean, despite how much talent she has, she just needs reputation-wise, because like, it would have gone back to that the Jinder Mahal thing, putting the belt on someone so soon like that. So I'm glad they didn't do that. They gave it to Ember, which I think was really deserving. And yeah, that's my pretty much opinion for the women's division. Male division, I will have to go towards Aleister Black. Again, another wrestler who does things you don't often see. I mean, yeah, we see a lot of little guys who do a lot of striking things, but like, when you're like sitting cross style and you spring up out of nowhere and do a fucking roundhouse kick to someone the fuck in the face, not many people can easily do that, and he can do it in a blink of an eye, and that is amazing. Like, he's got like this mysterious, interesting looking character that he can do with little to no talking, which not many wrestlers can do. They usually have to try to talk, or they have to have someone talk for them. Aleister, he doesn't really need to talk, and that's pretty cool. That's kind of reminds me of when Sting did the whole crow look and whatnot. He didn't really talk, but like, you just know like how amazing he was just by his presence and his facial expressions. And like, and I'm really looking forward. I can easily see Aleister Black become NXT champion and get to either Raw or SmackDown. He would have been perfect either or, but like, body size, as he pointed out, he probably fit in better in the SmackDown brand. So yeah, that's pretty my choice. Aleister Black and Ember Moon.
Okay, well, I'm going to go a little bit different. I'm going to answer the women first. I definitely have to say it's Ember Moon. I mean, Ember Moon, she earned her merit for over a year. She premiered, I think, at last year's SummerSlam, or SummerSlam Takeover event. I forget where it was. But, or actually it was in Brooklyn. Excuse me, Brooklyn too.
Brooklyn, yeah.
And, I mean, she has been, like you said, that top rope stunner.
It's called the Eclipse.
The Eclipse, yes. It's friggin' amazing. I mean, if any of you watching this have ever seen it, you know what I am talking about. So, I mean, I like Kairi Sane. I think she needs a little bit more time in the oven, if you catch my drift. You know, was very slow during the Mae Young Classic, and she's slowly building up speed. You know, if you've seen her recent matches, she's definitely, very much faster with that elbow. So she's definitely building up that momentum. I think that it's definitely also getting to the point where Nikki Cross, I think she could be an NXT champion. But, as far as the women's division, that's very difficult for me to say. I think she might have to wait until she's on a SmackDown or a Raw to get a title. Because I feel like if she was going to get a title, she'd have done it in that match against Asuka where it was... Where she... gosh, I forget what type of match it was. It was... one of those ones where you have to keep an opponent down. Last man standing. And I feel like a doofus for not remembering that. It happens. But yeah, she'd have done it in the last man standing match. But so I honestly, Ember Moon right now is definitely the best. As far as the men, I'm going to go with someone different than these two, because I would have said Lars Sullivan because he's a friggin' ogre who knows how to talk. But I'm going to go with Adam Cole, baby. Mainly because, A, he reminds me a lot of a younger Shawn Michaels, who, he's smaller. He knows how to fight. He's got a lot of charisma. And, he's very refined because he's been in ROH for God knows how long. But I think, and he won the War Games. He has done a lot in a short time that he's been there. And, War Games. There will be more moments for Adam Cole coming, and it's just going to trigger this guy as I talk about him.
Too sweet.
Yes, but the fact of the matter is that Adam Cole more than does have a match against Aleister Black, unfortunately, this upcoming Wednesday. So we will see what happens between those two, because if Adam Cole does beat Aleister Black, it's going to be an interesting road as far as what happens with the title and Andrade. So I'm just going to leave that subject at that. Now, next.
Well, let me add something real quick to your whole thing. I'm not going to say nothing against your decision. Okay. But what I am going to say is, if let's say Adam Cole wins. Yeah. Let's say it happens, Adam Cole wins. Adam Cole then has to worry about Johnny Gargano.
No one has to worry about Johnny Gargano.
Right.
If Lars Sullivan wins, which he's probably more than likely going to destroy Roderick Strong, and whoever else whatever the other match is, which I don't remember the fourth match. That's my thing. My mind's going blank.
Remember, it was
Killian Dane. And he has to worry about Killian Dane. So it's not going to be an easy win for Adam Cole if it's that case, because they're literally, if Lars Sullivan wins, they're literally going to have to jump Lars.
Well, it's a fatal four-way,
that's my point.
There's no disqualification.
And again, that brings me back to my point of they're literally going to have to jump Lars. Yeah. Because Lars is going to murder people, and I'm just waiting for it, because at first the idea of Lars was like, this guy's a jerk. This guy's a big asshole. And I started leaning like, okay, what else are you going to do? All right, I'm starting to like this guy. But, that's what it is. But nothing against your pick, but I'm just saying they have to worry about other people. It's a fatal four-way. We don't know. It's going to be a great match. It doesn't matter who the four guys are. The fatal four-way is going to be a good match, in my opinion. But there you go. Sorry. Yeah.
You're good.
Okay.
That's a good opinion.
Good opinions. That's why we have you here, it's for opinions. Nobody's right or wrong here. We just want opinions. Now, my next question is, why are there so many smarks that are WWE fans? I'm going to let Ivan start off with this one.
Great, fantastic.
Warm us up.
Great, fantastic. To all you people who only watch WWE, you fuck. You need to watch other stuff, because brilliant, the Broken Hardy's, Brother Nero, it's fantastic. You can't be like, oh, That's stupid. Why is there getting a good push? Why don't you actually educate yourself? Watch some of his Ring of Honor stuff. Watch some of his Impact. God, I can't believe I'm saying that. That's disgusting. I want to throw up. And that's the same with Adam Cole. If you watch Adam Cole's Elite Bullet Club stuff, and that's the same with Aleister Black and any other person, that's from another company. It's fantastic, some of their other stuff. And then they finally make it to the big leagues. What people consider the big leagues is WWE. And then you finally see them do fantastic work in WWE. But my thing is, you don't get to sit there and be a jerk just because you watch WWE and sit at home and just jerk off to WWE because you just want to watch just WWE. Why don't you watch Lucha Underground, ROH, New Japan, Impact, whatever the fuck they call themselves anymore. Fuck those owls. Anyways, whatever. Watch more stuff. I'm just saying. Even locally, SPW. Shout out to SPW. I'm just saying there's other talents out there that eventually you will see. And I'll give you a great name that's been in ROH. He's been in New Japan. He's been in Ring of Honor. He's been in WWE. And you know where he started from? SPW. And that's John Morrison. Ladies and gentlemen, John Morrison. And that's great. He's great. I'm just saying the young talent, there's people everywhere. So stop being so shitty and watch more good wrestling.
So yeah, these smarks, as we are calling them, as I like to call them, posers. Okay, so yeah, you probably don't like the other indie brackets because you're used to watching WWE. Because that's probably like the first wrestling show you've been watching since you were kids. I get it, but trying to insult other brands because they're not as popular and they don't make a big crowd as WWE, that's kind of not cool. Because we're getting a lot of talent in WWE from these indie brackets, because like Adam Cole, Seth Rollins, and whatnot. We got a lot of big people. Bobby Roode, and like I got into the indie brackets.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
I started watching the indie brackets after when WWE just started not looking so good anymore. Like all I've been seeing is the same stuff. Oh, John Cena wins the title.
Randy Orton wins the title.
Women being called divas, and they're doing diva things. They're not, instead of being all women wrestlers like they used to be.
John Cena wins the title.
Randy Orton wins the title.
The other tag
Roman Reigns wins the title.
The other champions they didn't have any good story plot or good wrestlers, in my opinion, to make it look interesting to watch. John Cena wins the title. So I gave up on wrestling for a while. Then I somehow found back in the day when it was actually good to watch TNA.
Fuck the revival.
And I'm watching this, and like I'm seeing all these new wrestlers, and actually some of the wrestlers that used to be in WWE or /WWF still doing what thing. Like Christian was in there, Rob Van Dam, Rhino,
Sting,
Kurt Angle,
and like I'm seeing all these amazing wrestlers that new and old,
Conan,
still doing what they like to do.
Scott Steiner,
and like.
Taking the 25% off.
Their story plot was amazing, and they have so much great talent, and like the way they were wrestling they were doing like back in the Attitude Era, which that was like my favorite era because they were just going all out. Now we got back in the day when I stopped watching, it was the PG era. And what's the era called now? What?
PG era.
It's still PG. Okay.
Yeah. So they went from the golden era, which was, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, then eventually slowly went into what we call the Attitude Era, Stone Cold Steve Austin, DX. Then it went to the Ruthless Aggression Era,
John Cena, Brock Lesnar.
Fucking retards. Wave your hand in your face looking like stupid idiots. And then they went to PG Era. I think they're seriously trying, because Brock gets away with murder. He'll say ass, fuck, and he don't give a fuck. Who's gonna stop Brock Lesnar?
He said shit.
Okay, guys.
Maybe Jim Cornette. He'll stop him if he shoots him. Just saying.
All right. Now back what I was like saying, yeah, and then like they had a really interesting title for the mid cards, the X Division title, which was done really differently than the other mid card titles. Like it was like almost like how different the hardcore title was. Like you had to win it in a different way than you normally win a title. It was really interesting, and like then I saw Ring of Honor or New Japan and the local talents from here, SPW, IWF, and whatnot. Like also IUF, another good one. He's not really was that really big back in the day, but if you all remember a wrestler called Scorpion. But he like teamed up with Al Snow and whatnot. He was, I believe, in the IWF here in Sacramento. And yeah, and like all these haters are like hating things, but like I realized like we got all these amazing talent from the indie brackets, like the Young Bucks and whatnot. And not to mention we got one of the biggest factions ever since DX and the NWO, the Bullet Club in ROH and New Japan Wrestling. You got the biggest faction right now in an indie bracket, and you're saying they suck? Too sweet. Fuck you.
You bitch.
Yeah, you see, I wish all these smart marks, and this is just my personal opinion, cease and desist, okay? Because, personally, I have to say that a lot of people are starting to become haters and all these WWE fans because there hasn't been anything to turn to since WWE bought out ECW and WCW, and the fact is now we have Ring of Honor, we have New Japan, we have What Culture Pro Wrestling.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's a good place.
And that's where Drew McIntyre freaking came back from, or Galloway. But I feel like people, they do not understand how important these places are. Like Kevin Steen and El Generico, otherwise known as Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, came from Ring of Honor. Yeah. You have people like Shinsuke Nakamura coming from New Japan.
Or Drew Galloway.
Well,
that is Drew Gallows, which is, what's his name now? Carl Anderson and what?
Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows.
Thank you. He went to TNA and other companies. Nerds. Come back, you nerds.
Well, he came back from Japan as he was a member of the Bullet Club. So, and AJ Styles, who was in TNA for 10 years, then went to Japan because he was a member of the Bullet Club.
Not only that, the leader
of the Bullet Club.
And that's the same with Adam Cole.
Baby. Yeah.
Just saying.
And
it's not a mistake, you fucks.
Also, I want to maybe comment one other wrestler that's been out there in the indie brackets that's making a big push in wrestling in general. Now we have to be Kenny Omega.
Yes, I was getting to Kenny Omega. I did want to get, however, to Cody Rhodes. Who
we just call him Cody. We have to call him Cody.
Because he's not allowed to use his last name. The American Nightmare.
And glorious
Bobby Roode, who originally came from TNA, fuck that out, whatever its name is now. And
they don't know.
Then we have possibly James Storm, who is in talks with WWE right now.
Bear money.
But is anyone gonna know that if they were just a straight up WWE fan?
Hell no.
No. And so they deserve to be deleted. Yes. So I will get on to my next question as we all seem to agree. So, now, which show has the best women's division? Raw, SmackDown, or NXT? I am going to. I'm gonna. Hold on. I'm gonna start with Ivan first. So
okay, let me say this. Okay, we obviously have a consensus here. Obviously Raw, because they have Asuka. How you doing? They have Sasha Banks. How you doing? They also got Nia Jax, which needs a good push, but you people, want to hate. They got Paige back. Paige.
How you doing?
Paige, you fuckfaces, Paige. Bailey. Gee, I don't know. Maybe give her a chance. They have Mickie James back. And the chick that I'm about to say, I may not like a lot, but she's talented. Alexa freaking Bliss. You know who has? You know what? Who SmackDown has? Charlotte, Natalya, Becky. That's it. I mean, they have other people, but talent-wise, that's it. Ruby Riott, give her some time. She'll get up there with those three. But as far as that goes, just those three, in my opinion, on SmackDown. But Raw is by far superior. That's why they won at Survivor Series.
Well, you did forget one show. I said both of those two.
You also got NXT.
Oh, NXT is good. NXT only has, in my opinion, the three I've... NXT as well is like SmackDown. They have three. Ember Moon, Kerry, and Ember Moon, Kerry, and...
Nikki Cross.
Crazy Psycho Bitch?
Nikki
Cross. That's it. I mean, eventually you could build up these other chicks from the Mae Young. But you can't just throw them there and expect them to be just sitting there doing nothing with their twiddling their fingers. To fight people like The Joke, Peyton Royce. The Joke, Billy fucking Kay. I'm sick of them both. The other Joke, Tamina. Tamina, if she gets a good push, she could be good. But other than that, she's just the muscle. The muscle for stupid cunt named Lana. Okay, and I don't care what Rusev says. There's Matchka. I'll Matchka his Matchka. I'll fight him right now. What's up?
Go ahead.
All right.
Hold on. First of all, my apologies for my friend. He just gets overly excited.
I would originally say NXT, but lately they've been drafting a lot of the good women wrestlers from NXT over to the other brand. So right now, their talent is not as big and not good as the other two right now. Yeah, we got Ember Moon, Kairi Sane, and Nikki Cross. That's pretty much it. And we got those the Australian girls,
Billy Kay and Peyton Royce.
Yeah, they
love each other.
I'm not feeling right now. To me, they're trying to like act like they're the beautiful people. If you know the duo from back in the TNA day,
the Smarkers, they don't understand.
Smarkers. You don't know what we're talking. You don't know what we're talking about. Smarkers.
They only watch the WWE.
Yeah.
So I would have to agree with Ivy. Yeah, Team Raw, way better women's roster than SmackDown by far, and especially since they got Asuka, because no one's ready for Asuka. No one. Mm-hmm. Future Raw Women's Champion right there.
In fact, the one chick I would like to see them throw on SmackDown because she's crappy. Just send Alicia Fox over there already. We don't need her messing up our Raw talent, okay? Alicia Fox and Noam Dar are made for each other because they're both boo-boo.
So yeah, my vote would be for Team Raw.
Yeah, I must agree with my fellow compatriots. My vote here, as I said earlier, the depth on Raw is much better than the depth on any other show. I think that Asuka is friggin' huge on Raw. B, also friggin' huge is Nia Jax. And yeah, the only genetic freak on that show. And if you don't know that reference, you need to watch Not Be a Smark. The other people on there, I mean, you do have Sasha Banks. You do have, Bailey, who if they actually pushed could be good. You had, screw Dana Brooke. Yeah, Mrs. Titus Worldwide.
That's gonna be an Oreo right there.
Yeah.
That's an Oreo waiting to happen.
Yeah, Oreo. Which is gonna be her new ring name. But you do have other good talent on there, like Paige. Paige is incredibly great. You have other talent like oh geez, and now I'm forgetting her.
Nia Jax.
I already said Nia Jax.
James.
Yeah, Mickey James, who is a 6-time women's champion. Cough, cough. You also have, Alexa Bliss, who I believe is a 3-time women's champion.
Yes, SmackDown, 1 Raw.
Yeah.
Only women who have both titles.
Yeah, and the only woman to have both
Oh,
titles.
scratch that. Charlotte now.
Okay.
But Alexa Bliss is the first.
Yeah.
She made that history mark.
So, it goes without saying that both women have or that all the women on the Raw women's roster, whether they've been undefeated, held titles, have the number of titles, they all have benchmarks. The other women on both shows, outside of maybe Ember Moon, don't have any benchmarks. So, I'll be honest here. It's Team Raw all the way on this one.
3 for Raw?
All 3 for Raw here. So, next question.
I gotta pull my phone for this one.
Okay.
Right here in Sacramento, California.
According to Sportskeeda, and take this with a grain of salt, folks, there could be a women's elimination chamber match for Raw this year, which would be in February. Which women do you think will be in it? Ivan, why don't you take the first one?
Obviously, if this doesn't happen, I'm gonna be slightly insulted because she should be in it, and I'm gonna give the first one go to Asuka. Asuka's probably more than likely gonna be in it, guarantee. Probably gonna be Bayley, Asuka. I want to say Sasha Banks, Alexa Bliss, because obviously she'll have the title. Mickey James, and then the leader of Absolution, Paige. Because I don't think the other 2 are gonna get that push yet because it's too soon. Paige has the experience, so it makes more sense to put Paige there and have the 2 other protecting you with your women's champion. So those are my 6 right there for the first ever Elimination Chamber Women's Championship.
All right, mine's gonna be probably a little slightly different. For sure, Asuka. And then I got Alexa Bliss. I got Sasha Banks, Bayley, Paige. And the last one I had a little hard debating because, it is possible we could probably get Nia Jax in it. Or, if they do this, because it'll probably be enough time to do it, Ember Moon. Put her on the Raw roster and put her into the Elimination Chamber. You got a couple months left. She could probably lose the title somewhere in January, and then she can get drafted to Raw and get just in time to get into that Elimination Chamber. It is a possibility. I would like to see that happen, but if not, definitely Nia Jax will be in that 6 mark. And yeah, that's my opinion.
I am actually going to agree with my friend Danny over here because for the most part I will agree with them. And then on that last spot, if it is not Ember Moon, it will be Nia Jax. Now here's the reason why it would be Ember Moon. At NXT Philadelphia, TakeOver Philadelphia, they've been showing, or last week on NXT, they had a little, promo for coming soon, and it was 2 spades. My guess is this is for Shayna Baszler. Now, if it is for Shayna Baszler, it is enough time for them to build up a storyline, have her show up at NXT Philadelphia in January, at the end of January, have her take the title off of her, have them have a rematch at, before, Fastlane or whatever in February, have her lose it, and then call her up, because she's been there for a year and about a year and a half now. So I could see that happening, and have Ember Moon be the first one to either pin or eliminate Asuka, and have shit go down.
I don't go that far.
Well,
Beating Asuka. If anything, I think that's when Asuka's gonna win that title.
Well, and that could also be where she wins the title, but the last person she pins is Ember Moon also.
That is possible, but I really don't think Asuka will lose that.
So, but that would be giving Ember Moon a big push.
Oh, it will, definitely.
So, I mean, this is a what if, but I would agree with the majority of those stars. So, it's an interesting thought, and I like the idea of putting the women in more of these matches like they did with Money in the Bank earlier this year. And Hell in the Cell last year. That's what I said. Yeah. So, etc., etc. Excuse me. But, I think that your winner here would more than likely either be Asuka taking it from Bliss and then those two fighting at WrestleMania, or, Asuka winning and then fighting just whomever at WrestleMania. And it would be interesting to see how they'd go about that after an elimination chamber. Like, who do you decide who the number 1 contender is after that? Anyway, so last question. If you could put 3 wrestlers from outside WWE into WWE, who would you choose? So, why don't you start this one, Danny?
All right. Now, this one will be a really interesting one because, I'm probably not going to choose any of the wrestlers who have probably already had a big name in WWE. Like Johnny Impact, as he's calling himself right now. So my pretty much pick would be Kenny Omega. That's what I want to see in WWE. James Storm, just so the fact we could probably get beer money going, and just either way he'd probably be good on his own, just like he does in the Owl show. And then Bobby Roode has his own thing right now. And then the last one was also another tough one for me to decide because there's so many to choose one, but I'm probably have to go with Jay Lethal. I would love to see Jay Lethal. Yeah. I could totally, he could bring back Black Machismo if he wanted to. And I could easily see him at the very least a mid-card champion. Or even NXT champion if he goes into NXT.
That's a good point.
So I will have to say Jay Lethal for sure.
No offense, but that's I wasn't even thinking about. Wow, that's a big one. That was that was actually a really, really good choice. Holy dog crap. So there are 3 people that I wouldn't mind. I agree with the Kenny Omega. I really agree with it because I think he'd end up showing to NXT, but he'd be a bad guy. And he'd be a really, really good bad guy. He don't need anybody to back him up, and I'm sure he end up having somebody back him up. But he would be a really, really good bad guy. And God forbid, even if they don't put him in NXT and they do to him what they did with AJ Styles and just throw him in the Royal Rumble and that's how he starts, then good. More power to him. But, that's one. My second guy is not even, ROH, not even New Japan, not even, I think he probably wrestled on Impact, what the fuck they're calling themselves. But my second choice is Zero Miro, which is Pentagon Jr., which would be great for the Cruiserweight division if that's the choice you were to make him. Or you can make him a mid-carder, Intercontinental or U.S. champion. I don't care. But I want to see him in the WWE. That's a good way for him if he were to join the WWE, and eventually if he wants, when he decides to end his wrestling career, it'd be great in WWE. My opinion. The third one was kind of hard, but rewatching some stuff that I watched with John, and I just recently watched this guy's match in John's room with John, which is Gary's brother, is a guy named Drago. He's a lucha libre wrestler, and he's really, really talented. Really talented. And he got bigger guys like Matanza, which is another Lucha Underground wrestler. Not a big name company, obviously. You smarkers wouldn't know anything about that. But, that's besides the point. Drago would be my third pick because I want to see the 205 get a lot better, and I want to see it succeed. I don't want to see what happened with the first time when they brought back the Cruiserweight division, and you ended jokingly, as a freaking joke, by giving Hornswoggle the freaking Cruiserweight Championship as your last Cruiserweight Champion when they first had it. I'm sorry, that does not need to happen when there's great talented wrestlers out there. Just my opinion, and those are my three.
That was a good pick, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone here, I think, agrees on Kenny Omega, so I'm not going to choose Omega because that would have been my first pick anyway. So, I'm going to go with Kichika Okada. So, because I think Okada would be great for WWE. I mean, I doubt he'd ever go to WWE, but, I mean, if anybody saw Omega Okada 1, 2, or 3, you smarks, you would understand why he's such a great wrestler and why he is so WWE worthy. No matter what division you put him in, he'd probably kick the shit out of the ogres in any NXT or above.
Which is funny because that whole top 300 wrestlers they have at the top 10, guess who was number one? The guy he just picked, number one at a top 10. So obviously it's not a mistake, and I agree with that. That's a great pick.
Yeah, that is a good pick. I actually will also agree.
I know this is a little bit breaking of what I said, but number 2 I would say would be the Young Bucks, because I feel like this company is in need of tag teams, like badly, and the Young Bucks have proven time in and time out that they are a great tag team, whether it's Ring of Honor, whether it's New Japan. It doesn't matter that they're Bullet Club and all their cease and desist and they're too sweet. Get the fuck over it, WWE. I don't give a fuck. I want to see good tag team wrestling, because quite frankly, these guys have proven, I don't care how many super kicks you do, guess what? You can say suck it all you want, because if you can back it up, then you should be able to say it. Now,
back to your Too Sweet thing. Since you want to talk about Too Sweet and you're talking about the Young Bucks, since the WWE wanted to do the whole cease and desist of them doing, technically they get a 1 sweet. So I need to get a 1 sweet from both of you real quick. Just 1 sweet. Just 1 sweet. That's for you, Young Bucks, because I agree with that pick. 1 sweet. Because WWE don't want you saying Too Sweet, even though the people in NWO said here. It's a patching of a freaking torch. Say Too Sweet if you want to. Just saying. Yeah.
My last pick was also not picked by these guys, and it's from Lucha Underground, and I would say Ricochet. And he wouldn't have to necessarily go into the Cruiserweight division, because I think he's one of those guys like Johnny Impact, Johnny Nitro, John Morrison, whatever he'd like to call himself, the artist formerly known as John Morrison, whatever. I think that Ricochet is one of those guys that, with the way he wrestles, he is so entertaining. It's like you cannot take your eyes off a Ricochet match, otherwise you're going to miss something. And all you smarks out there, I dare you, turn on Netflix or Hulu or whatever Lucha Underground's on and watch a freaking Ricochet match. I dare you. You will be entertained beyond your freaking wildest dreams. This guy is insane. So, honestly, WWE snagging Ricochet would be a freaking miracle for WWE.
Fantastic. Actually, I agree with that one.
So,
I didn't think of that guy either. Damn it. Like, legitimately, that's a good pick.
That is probably a good pick.
There's a lot of people from
Yeah.
Lucha Underground that people don't want to freaking be like, hey, look, what's Lucha Ground? What does that taste like? No, fool. I mean, if you watch it, it's on Netflix, as he was trying to, make the example. But yeah, all 2 seasons that they have on Netflix is on 2 seasons. I hope they put season 3 when they put it on there. And
Give it
for
next year.
for people who don't know, Lucha Underground is actually getting a 4th season, surprisingly, which is great for them because it's a minor, and in my opinion, in fact, they're going to surpass Impact Wrestling. In fact, they already surpassed Impact Wrestling.
On it?
Rey Mysterio is on there. Rey Mysterio is part of Lucha Underground, so that's that. So that's my opinion as well.
well, I don't know about that 4th season yet. That's
No,
it.
They have it.
That's
they have
in
an
the-
advertisement out for it.
Interesting. I'll have to look at that later, and I will identify that for sure, by the time I do my next show. But, all of us know that there is great indie talent out there for WWE to pick up. It's just they need to throw out the garbage before they, realize that some of the shit they have is obsolete.
Mules.
So, well, this has been Monday's special edition of Sactown Slam. And I would like to thank Ivy and Danny for being here with me. So,
Oh, we might get a cease and desist thing from the WWE, even though I have this thing, Don't start with me, WWE. I don't have money for you to take from me anyways to sue for me. Who cares? Get over it. Get over it. Just get over it, damn it.
they're haters.
Yeah, a couple haters. Literally, you guys are hating on the Revival, not the Revival. Well, the Elite gets to hate on the Revival. I'm talking about Bullet Club doing the 2 sweet. You're making them do the 1 sweet and not saying suck it. Well, I got 2 words for you for them. Suck it. What are you gonna do? Sue me? Sue me then. Piss me off already.
Okay, so for Gary, Danny, and Avin, we are out of here. So, bang.
Good night.